we're going to do back-to-back today. We do that every now and then. Because the county commission will be, next week, will be down at the Association of County Commissioners of Alabama, ACCA, for their annual conference. And I want to remind everyone that we have a commissioner who is President-elect, Joe.
That's right.
Will be.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday will be President-elect of the Alabama County Commissioners Association. That's the first time we've had anyone in a leadership role in quite some time, and that's a big honor and a huge responsibility. Commissioner Knight, we know you're up to the task, and we'll look forward to going down there and hearing some of your antidotes that you have for the county commission. That's going to be great.
There will be no heckling, no smoking, no drinking while I'm speaking.
And that's right. And I'll concur on that.
Well, what are you going to do then?
I have a surprise. It's going to be great.
As we sit down and do this business, so that's to remember why we're here and what we're here for. And let's begin this with a word of prayer, as we always do. Well, let's wait on our news media to come in, who is fashionably late today. Y'all come on in and have a seat.
Yeah. For the media to be present. You have an item for the media to be present?
Not that I'm aware of.
I didn't think we had to stall the meeting. They're going to catch it.
Would you like to?
Dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for all our blessings. Thank you for dying on the cross for our sins. Just give us wisdom and power and love so we can treat each other the way you treat us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Okay. Let's begin. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Let's begin with District 1.
Thank you.
Just go right through.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. This is a committee report for Public Works, Community Services, and Intergovernmental Relations. We have 3 items. The first is the Gartner Inc. This is an amendment to the existing contract. And then we also have an encroachment agreement with Douglas Edelman. And then number 3 is Duke's Root Control. Do we have any questions? Or, Cal, is there anyone that you need to have speak to these 3 items?
Let me look over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a different version. I think
I sure know.
it's August 9th
Oh,
for
okay.
commission.
That's okay. Well, how about I look at yours?
Oh, right.
That's all right. So then I apologize for the clerk's sake. Looks as though, yeah, my goodness, we have a lot more. So we have items 1 through 8. And excuse me, so I mentioned about those others. Let me restart. We have the Video Industrial Services. This is about project that's in Mountain Brook. We have number 2 is Suncoast Infrastructure. Number 3 is B.H. Gregg Construction, which is 5 Mile Creek Project. Municipal Consultants. Item number 5 is ALDOT Agreement. Number 6 is Wilson Mitigation, DBA, Servpro of Birmingham. Number 7 is DEC Fire and Water Restoration. Number 8 is Acela, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's 2022 Permitting System Enhancement. So do we have any questions regarding items 1 through 8?
I got one on Acela. Acela for ESD is the same as Acela for development
It
services.
is. So when you're doing a development, part of the development is getting your sewer hookup permit, you're trying to coordinate it all together.
So is this just paying for, so 25,000, we're just paying for a module on Acela? Is that right?
It's sorry.
The nerdiness coming out when you talk about software, so.
This is just,
I didn't know you
it
had
makes
that.
improvements to the system that we already have on the front end, so it's just make it easier for customers and everybody else.
Good deal.
Move.
All right,
Second, I do have a question on number 4, the municipal consultants. Is that project complete? We're terminating?
Well, yes, we're transitioning to rehab instead of locking in place one there, so yeah, that's why we're coming in.
Okay.
And I want to add number 3 is $4.3 million. That didn't show up on that one, so at least my copy, so.
no, it doesn't have an amount on here. You got it, Bill? You got it?
You got the money?
I should call that.
You got the money?
For now.
Okay.
All right, so we have items 1 through 8 that has been moved and seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, we have no additional business for District 1. Thank you.
Can I ask,
Good.
there you go. When you pick the projects for the sewer from the district, how are they chosen?
So we have a ranking system. We look at, particularly for the overflows, how much the volume of the overflow, how often it occurs, is it near points of public contact, is it in the neighborhood, is it near healthcare facilities, is it near a public waterway. And so we use all that to score all our projects. We look at how much it costs versus, basically how many gallons of overflow we do per dollar. And so that's how we rank all of our projects. It's based on a scoring system for everything. Part of it also has to do with just design and how long it will take. And so we try to phase it that way. So the way it's been ended up is the vast majority of the work we're doing is really coming out in Valley Creek, it's sort of the west end, all the way down to Bessemer. It's where the highest priority projects are working out and overflow now.
Well, I would like to meet with you and Cal.
Okay.
Well, that's a good segue into your community development human resource need. And Cook Green, would you go ahead and proceed, please?
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
Department of Community Service, Dr.
We have 6 items this morning. The first one is the cooperation agreement for Terrence General Fund Stone Shelter. That will be paid for, of course, out of general funds. Number 2 is an amendment to our CDBG DR 2013 Action Plan Amendment. We had some funds left over from our disaster funds, and we're proposing to use a portion of those for some infrastructure improvements of the homes. Number 3 is basically a resolution authorizing the commission president to sign the license agreement for the confidentiality COC agency for one group for our staff to use the HMI system, which is a system that basically puts in confidential information to those that benefit from various home programs. Number 4 is basically to approve 2 members on our existing EDA revolving loan fund. That's Grant Lauderdale that you all approved sometime back, and Monte Kelly, for them to be reappointed to the board, and that term will expire on May 2025. Number 5 is a request to accept some additional funds from the state of Alabama on a voluntary basis for ERAP 2 funds not to exceed $20,000. I do want to briefly just explain this.
Well, that says 20 million on mine.
I said 20,000, sorry, 20 million, sorry, $20 million. We basically are out of funds. We have about 2,000 cases in the backlog, and we only have $12 million, so the state has again asked us to consider asking for some additional funds from there. Also, number 6 is a request from Treasury. We did have some slow spenders throughout the country, and because we were spending our
Go back to the last one. Where are these applications located?
with our partners.
With our partners, and those partners we're dealing with rental assistance in mortgage. Are these
Just
together?
rental assistance.
Just rental here?
Yes, sir.
Are these rental locations are located
Throughout the county.
throughout the
Excluding
county?
Birmingham.
Is there, excluding Birmingham?
Yes, sir.
So all of this is, if I had someone in rental assistance in Hueytown,
Absolutely,
or in Gardendale,
absolutely.
or in Lipscomb, or in Fairfield. It's covered there, but it doesn't include Birmingham.
They have, that's right, they have it on.
All right. And that's its own problem.
No, that's, this is not CDBG, that's.
That's what it included, so,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Now you go ahead.
And since you stopped him, I do want to say that I've seen where the agency that we do have working on these projects was like the top 3 in the country. With these programs, so that's, but it don't say the agency's name, it said Jefferson County is the top 3, and that's really, it's huge, so we're gonna present that once we get the certificate and everything, that we really number 1, but I just want to say top 3 until I get the paperwork.
Top 3. Top 3 what?
Top 3 in agencies that give out and help citizens with low income that need assistance with utilities and rental systems.
Well, $50 million, you might.
But you got people, but you got other people in other states that have way more money than this, and they can't do it. They can't pull it off like Jefferson County pulling it off. They got $700 million and can't do it, and the poverty rate is much higher than ours. So what's this saying about Jefferson County? We taking care of our citizens.
Dr. Hamilton, what time period is it?
We have it until 2025.
I don't know, that's the first time I've seen that.
So it's $50 million over 3 years.
In other states, they are turning their money back in because they are not able to pull off the tax. So that means our agency is doing the work.
Well, I want to say this, one of the reasons we've been asked to do this is because of the way this program has been administered. And I want to acknowledge our consultation with Widow Bryan and our staff, that the county has basically done a great job in implementing the program. Now,
All right, let me ask this, after 3 years, how do you sustain it? Or will there be other coming down?
I don't think there'll be anything after this, so I think if there's anything left after the end of 2025, then I can go back to it.
So,
Go ahead, because I was going to ask.
so I want to be clear. We're saying that over a period of 3 years, that we're looking at $50 million, right?
Actually, I'm about to ask you for some more.
No, well, because honestly, to be candid, I was thinking like, well, that's not a lot of money, not over 3 years. Once you put the 3-year element in it, then that's what made me want to inquire. And so I'm assuming, because I don't know, I have an idea of the agency. Is there agencies or agency that the county is using? It's 2 of them. Okay, and so that being said, I would be interested in knowing how those funds will be distributed in terms of, is that equally over a certain period of time, what that actually looks like. Because see, for me, I'll divide 3 into $50 million, right? And then in my mind, I'm saying, okay, then this should amount to X amount per year, right? Okay, and then I would be interested in knowing also, what does that look like in terms of the number of residents that we are assisting? You see what I mean? And so, I don't want to be putting something in my head right now. I'm not very calculative this morning, but usually, like I said, I can count money if I can't do nothing else. All right, so if that's divided by 3, then you're basically talking about $16,600,000 per year. Is that right?
That is correct, and I want to tell you right now, our spend rate right now for both of our agencies is about a little over 1.5 million per month.
So we can spend more.
Yeah, and that's why we actually have led me into a calculation that Widow Bryan just did, that really they're asking that we really requested another $22 million on top of the 50% to $2 million.
And so the $22 million, what would be considered the funding source?
It would be the same funding, you actually.
No, well, I'm saying, are we looking for like additional federal dollars that we are getting for that to come from?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. They're coming from Treasury.
Okay, but I'm saying not the dollars that goes to the county, it's the dollars that come directly from the federal government to community development. that what we saying?
Which comes from county.
Comes to the county by way of your department, but I'm saying, but they're community development dollars specific.
Yes.
Is that what I mean, Ken?
It's separate from our ARPA money.
It's separate from our.
So ERAP two,
Yeah, that's all I want to know is it separate?
It is
Is it
separate.
and above?
It's separate.
Okay. Okay, well, I mean, if your spending rate is over $1 million per month, then.
And they could spend more than that.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
so-
plus the ERAP 2 guidelines are different from ERAP 1. Now, ERAP 1, you have to have a COVID impact.
Right, but this one, you
This
don't.
one, you just have to be income eligible and be within the time frame that these funds were issued from the government up to now. So basically, anybody having any rental assistance need to be eligible to meet that criteria.
Bill, what in the world are these people gonna do when this money dries up?
That's
That's what I've got. And I'm very concerned. This is designed to be a hand-up, to give people an opportunity to make it. And if you're telling me the spend rate is getting greater now, that means more people are getting on it, and it's become a handout.
Not necessarily.
All right, let me finish, and then you
Okay.
can speak,
I
okay?
will.
Now, this spend rate should be going down as more people are coming out of COVID, whether this is COVID money or not. That you need, your goal, your job is to make them more productive and to be able to take care of themselves. And I'm gonna look for you to make sure that gets done. I know that every commissioner here wants these people to be self-sufficient and can see as soon as these funds dry up, they're gonna come up and you're gonna have a larger population that is dependent on what's going on. And how are we gonna do that? I hear Commissioner Todd, I'm gonna let her rebut this. But I can't see a way out of it. And I can see when these funds dry up, that things are gonna get real tough around here for a lot of people who really don't deserve that. Are you explaining it to them? This money is for X amount of period of time, and we need this to be a hand up, and you help them get jobs, you help them get self-sufficient, help them to bring them out of the poverty which they're in. If you're doing that, you're doing your job. If you're not, you're not doing anything but pushing them down the road, you're gonna create a great deal of problem.
This money can only pay their bills. It's not paying it up for a year, 2 years. It's not paying their bills like that. They can only pay it for a month,
1 month?
1 month or 2 months.
Well, it's in the arrears too. So in other words, if my utilities are in the arrears for 3 or 4 months, it goes back 3 or 4 months and covers that.
And see, it's not gonna pay it no longer than that. So they're on their own after that anyway. They can't come and apply again. It's not like it's 12 months in a year. So if they pay 3, that's it. They can't come back again and get it again. It's not like it's not like that. You can take one bite out of that cake and you are the fool. That's it for them.
That right there?
So we are not trying, they are not taking care of these people 12 months out of a year.
Well, that's why.
So they on their own regardless after 3 months.
Well, why is it more now than?
Because it's more poor people. Every day,
Again, that goes back to
people
what I
falling
said.
into poverty every day.
Again, that goes back to what I said, people.
But it ain't the same people who we paying. It's not the same, it's different people. So it's something wrong with economy. If more people, if I got 5 beans in 5 people in a bag, if I take 5 out, there should only leave 5. But then if it's more people that's falling into poverty, jumping in that bag, these 5 people, we done already rescued them. So it's something wrong with the economy if more people keep falling into that category. You can't put it on a program, and it ain't up to him to pull them out.
Can I add to that? Because I think there's also a misnomer that, when we talk about unemployment rate is very, very low. Our workforce participation rate is unfortunately low. It's at like 57.2%. Don't get me to the point, whatever. Pre-pandemic, it was more like at 62%. We don't know exactly if it's people not getting back into the workforce or who was retired early and just hasn't come back and won't come back. But I get your point, but at some point, every employer out there is looking for somebody, and we have to upskill. And I know that's, workforce needs to be on it big time, because we tout that we have a great workforce, that, employers can come here and find a good workforce. We gotta put our money where our mouth is and make sure that we get education programs and kids coming out of school ready for the workforce, for sure.
So, what, based on what the president is asking, and what I would ask you, Carol, respectfully, Mr. President, I'd like to see Helen to put something out in terms of a news release, so that once these funds have been approved by us, that there is a clear outline in terms of the length of this project. I think a little different than Mr. President. I don't think we put that on the staff of the program itself. Certainly whoever interacts with the general public, meaning those agencies that those dollars go to, sure, they should let them know, but I think from a county perspective, it's our fiduciary responsibility to make sure that the general public knows, here are the dollars, here's the length of time the program will exist, so then no one has to be offended. I think and Commissioner Tyson, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but what I believe that is being stated this morning is that the cost of inflation has gone up. And because it has, you have more of a propensity for residents, even those who are working. You have the working poor, and then you have those who are on a fixed income, and then you have those who simply don't want to work, right? But right now, I think that between workforce development and trying to even utilize that part of the program that you all have that's dealing with, if a business closed and then they basically, I forgot the name of it, but basically you retrain them for a different type of job, you know what I mean? I think that once we equally put out that information as well, that we're able to help. But certainly inflation itself has taken on a different, it's kind of like pre-COVID, you could buy chicken for $2. I mean, that's just figuratively. Now you're talking about $10, because everybody's talking about the cost of shipping, and then the war, and all these other little things that come into place. So that's really what I believe that the commissioner is saying, is that the inflation is here, and because it's here, we don't want to label people as such that it does appear, and I'm sure that
like they lazy and don't want to work.
Yeah, I think
when minimum wage is still the same, but when you go try to get a canned good that you bought 2 years ago for 53 cents, now it's $1.09. That's what's going on. Gas is high. You can't get a loaf of bread under $3. You got to look at that. All of that is affecting the citizens, and then you expect for them to live, and then these jobs are not paying no more than $10. So you still living. You are the working poor. You can't afford the gas. Insurance done went up. Their cars done went up. The rent of slum is $750 a month. And then you don't think if the federal government is giving us this money, we need to get it. And you can find signs, Commissioner Scales, in the service station. They got them. I have never, they everywhere, letting people know that this program exists. And the county the county is leading the whole program. Because I didn't even know the signs was out till I walked in one of the convenience stores in West End. I said, wow, what the county sign doing up here? Big old sign saying they paying utilities, the time, the place, the phone number, the website, all of that was on the sign. So that's good for us to help the citizens. And you can find them all out in those little rural areas. I was out there in Martintown. They out there. So they are spreading the word. They are allowing the people to take advantage of these programs. And if the government is giving them, we are on a local level. The federal government is sending this money down. We would be crazy to turn it down.
Did anything that I said?
I heard you, but I just felt like I needed this.
And what I said is it the expectations within 3 years? Is it you're going to have to tell these people?
We need to raise minimum wage. We need to tell the federal government.
We can't do anything. What this is something we can do something about. And if we're going to give this dollar, we need to let them know that this is a hand up, and that in 3 years, this $50 million is not gonna be there. And that money's gonna have to come from somewhere. This Jefferson County does not have that kind of money. It does not have that kind of money. And to give that kind of money out without an expectation of that it will come to an end, and this is a hand up for everyone, please. Let's get retrained during that period of time. Let's get a better job during that period of time, or let's get on some type of a permanent federal supplement between now and then. But because this money is going to be gone in 3 years, like you said?
That's correct.
Yeah, 3 years, so, and that was all that I said.
I know, but when
And
they fill out their paperwork for this program, they are given a workforce development application and the number and access to all the information and the jobs that's available on there. They're
We
given
have
a
those signs,
yeah,
the signs that show
yeah.
that that's available,
They-
jobs
yeah,
skills available.
yeah,
Just
and they
to
given a
check
food
that.
stamp app,
Follow
and they
up.
also given a food stamp
Change those
application
expectations.
for them to fill out a food stamp application. So these people know, they've been just doing this, and if you ain't never applied for public assistance, you would never know that. So it is available, and they are telling these people, they know it's only a 3-month fix. People know that, they know that. Do you think they think that we gonna pay their bills for 12 months, Jimmy? I'm telling you, President, no, they do not. They know there's a one-hit wonder around here.
One hit wonder, okay.
Yes,
Who are the administrators, the two administrators?
this is saying that we have Birmingham Urban League and Bridge Ministries.
Okay,
And I
and
do
what
want to
is,
point out,
what is the administrative cost?
10%. Okay, so I do want to.
So is that 10% of 50 million?
$50 million.
It will be 10%.
$5 million.
So I do want to point out that this is just a request. I do want to point out, before we put anything on the website, that we are just requesting this, that we have not been given this. So although we're requesting this, we may get some less, but this allows us to request up to that amount.
So let me ask you this very quickly before we move
Well,
on.
thank you for that, because I thought this was done.
So let me ask this to Dr. Hamilton. So there will be potentially some other dollars that may be realized from the federal government beyond this $50 million, am I correct? And so because of that, you're already briefing the commission to let us be aware that should the federal government issue additional dollars, I think really and truly all of us are saying the same thing. It's really, Cal, just a matter of making sure that Helen spells out everything to the general public, just what has already been done, even from a grassroots level. But you know, you got something official on behalf of the commission. And then these other dollars that hopefully, you know, we'll apply for. And if they are made available, you know, then we'll make sure that the public gets another notification. But I will say that I just, you know, if we would just be mindful that inflation dictates a different behavior. You know what I mean?
1 through 6.
Second.
Yeah.
I'll start.
Ms. Burton, second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Do we have anyone from family court? Mr. Fields, are you on the line?
I move the family court $80,000 request amount for children's foster care.
Can I get a
Second.
It's been passed first and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
What are we voting on?
Number one, family court.
Second.
That's the end of my report.
No,
You got
Tyson, you got
salary
number
adjustment.
two.
And I would,
Salary
She
adjustment
might be having,
for probation.
Okay, I'm
she
sorry.
might have an old one.
this is Mr. County Manager.
8%, okay, go ahead.
I would defer any salary adjustments till the budget year next month. Is this something that we need to do or something to wait? Because we are looking hopefully for a COLA. That just basically doubles it.
It's already in our budget. It's already in our budget.
Is this like an interim
Effective
position?
October.
Like, you know,
It's
I know it's appointed, but I'm saying the fact that is this some type of salary increase or something temporarily, like maybe she's,
But the increase, you get the increase, and then you get the COLA on top of that. even
That's
for
13%
appointed,
if it's a 5.
Then that
It's
extends
already
it
in
more.
her
All
budget.
right, Mr. County Attorney,
Well,
what
maybe
did you say?
can they speak?
Yeah, that's the appointed position, that's appointed by the presiding judge, the family court, so that's her appointment.
That's her
Is
point.
it, but is, who's, I mean, is this a information only? I mean, is this, or is this our,
It's still county dollars, but
Yeah.
it's the appointment of the
And it's
presiding.
already in her budget.
Yeah.
So
well,
now
just
we're trying to
something
dictate
like-
to her how she give her over rating.
In a month, it doubles it up to
But-
be 13%.
But do you think she don't know that?
Well,
And look, okay,
I'm just saying.
it's her budget,
It's her budget.
maybe.
Well,
Well,
how-
if she waits, 8% of the new budget turns into more dollars than 8% of what's got.
So, Madam
It
Chair,
don't go into
why
our.
why don't we do this, Mr. President? How about we can move this item, well, Jesus, to the meeting at 11 o'clock with the understanding that by then we can get Judge Hilliard to give us some sort of explanation in terms of what this 8% actually really
And it
means.
don't start till October 1st. Mike just got the background.
Okay.
well, why don't you just put it in her budget then? First,
We need to ask her.
yeah.
But can we just at least move the item to the agenda with 11 and then so she can, then we can get Judge Hilliard to give us some sort of official
Yeah.
understanding in terms of what this 8% represents?
Is that your motion?
It is.
Uh-huh.
So
We're just moving it to
We're
the
doing-
agenda.
we're doing-
So we can get
I'll do that.
clarification.
Hey,
Have a motion.
I'm good, I'll second.
And then- yeah, there you go.
Okay, it's been first, second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Well, that's.
That's just move to the
that's just
agenda.
Let's
move
move
it
to
to
the
the-
agenda.
Yeah.
She come in, thanks, Harper. That's the end of my report.
The Administrative and Infrastructure Committee, you've got looks like a good bit, 11 items in roads and trends. There's Heather, good morning.
I'll move 1 to 11.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye. Sit down, Heather.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
No, that means, you know what that means? That means you're doing a good job and spending your money well. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, minutes from the previous commission meeting on August 11th. Motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
All I have is 2 infrastructure items, one City of Hoover and the other the town of Brookside.
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor say aye. Aye, thank you very much. Commissioner Knight.
Wait, hold on, Commissioner. Commissioner Tyson, didn't we have an item for under new business District 2? Did you do those?
Yeah, I didn't have, I didn't have any, right?
Okay, because I see one, huh?
Oh,
Maybe that's,
Yeah, you
okay.
may be on.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's the old, but I wanted to make sure that she got our item up there, that's about the thing.
Yeah, she did that.
No, we already did that.
We did that.
We did that last time.
That's last.
All right, well, that's the end of that, all right. that's
All
good to know.
right, finance, Ms. Dixon.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Items 1 through 4.
Have a motion?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
I move BMO and staff development.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We still have a budget agenda item as well.
Okay. Have a budget agenda item, roads and transportation capital.
This amount is to increase the expenses for reimbursement for ALDOT for the Grants Mill Road.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, absentee election manager, Birmingham
Move the
Division.
item.
Have a motion.
Second.
And a second. Do we have anybody from the circuit clerk, absentee election manager on board? Have a motion and a second.
Wait a minute, is this on the circuit clerk?
Yeah, that's just Jackie for the absentee.
This is already,
She's already.
what we did.
Okay.
It's right here. Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
General Services. Ms. Wilkins, are you on?
No, sir, I can do that one. I believe she's out. That's for upgrading the floor at the 2121 building for the public defenders' offices. We've been working with them, and we believe we have a really good deal where they're going to reimburse us. Rental rate plus the cost of the remodel. So we're really excited about the work Tricia's done to get that done. This is just the beginning of the design.
Now, you set the expenses, are we gonna
are we gonna have additional revenue coming in from that?
Yeah, year after year, for sure.
Okay.
And that will go back to offset this project as a capital project.
Right.
Okay. Just checking.
That's a good point, though, is where if it just ends up in, if it has to be allocated appropriately to make sure,
It needs to go back for this particular project.
and not just general funds.
Because it's either invested or spent.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. Oh, Steve moved and Sheila second. Right, guy?
Yes.
Human Resources, retiree rehire resolution. Good morning.
Good morning. We have one item on the agenda, which is a resolution to establish the terms and provisions of the employee benefits available to retired county employees who are later reemployed by the county as provided by Act 2022-242.
In a brief summary, what are those terms and provisions, if you can?
Thank you.
So a couple of them, retirees enrolled in county retiree benefits will continue to have the benefit premiums deducted as a retiree or as a rehired retiree. And then another one is retirees who deferred retirement and are not receiving a pension check will be available or made available or able rather to receive benefits as an employee when rehired. So it's just establishing the benefits by which they'll receive and be deducted.
All right. Do I have a motion?
Move the item.
And a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Personnel Board is information.
And move to the agenda.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. I have a couple of community grants, one community grant to Birmingham Southern College. I have a motion, second. All in favor, please say aye.
I did have a question,
On that?
please.
Yeah.
Because I may want to help. Tell me a little bit more about that, improvement that you're doing. Is there some kind of connection between Turkey Creek Nature Preserve and what? It's connecting to something.
Well, it's the road in the park, I think, it's very narrow, wide. Right, Zach? You here?
Yeah, Commissioner Scales, can you hear me?
Yes, honey.
Yes, ma'am. It's an improvement to their existing parking lot in there. They're adding basically large stones and trying to prevent people from parking in inappropriate areas. And then it's going to be restriping the road that's the internal road in the preserve itself.
And that's on Birmingham Southern campus.
No, this is at Turkey Creek, at the Nature Preserve.
So why does this say?
Well, because that's who,
There ain't nothing where nobody live at it.
The executive director.
Yeah,
We're certain.
There ain't where nobody live at.
right?
Your house out there on that road. I'm checking with
Do
people
what?
house out there.
The Vermilion Darter lives out there.
They can swim.
But we do it through Birmingham Southern College in a partnership with them. Do I have a motion?
No, it's all right. I thought it was already passed. I just have a question about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I had a question about that.
I kind of got lost in the hubbub. All right, discussion of the World Games 2022. Press, are you ready? We're going to carry this over to the agenda for September 6th. I do want to say that I and the County Commission continues our effort to support World Games 2022. Although not contractually obligated, we partner with Birmingham, the state of Alabama, the Convention Bureau, and the corporate community to bring these games to our community. The games were a success in the eyes of the athletes, the fans, the delegations who came, and the 3,400 volunteers who made this possible. On the downside, there does exist outstanding balances. This happens in events of this magnitude. And we'll continue to work with the partners in order to bring all of this to an amicable solution. And with that, I would like to, Mr. President, move this to the committee meeting on September 6th. All right, that concludes my report.
I'll approve or move your board appointment to the BZA.
Okay, yeah, I got Fran, got to go to the BZA. Do I have a motion?
Second.
I have a motion and a
Wait,
second.
wait, I have a question
On what?
on the Borough County.
All right,
Oh, no, everybody's board appointments.
Oh.
this is board appointment
Oh.
for the zoning.
Have we talked about the Borough County?
He just did, he said, we're not going to, you wrong.
I have a motion and a second. I have a motion and a second on the board appointment. All in favor, please say aye.
You did.
All right. Now, do you have a comment on the program?
No, I was asking what, y'all, what we gonna
Move it
Oh,
to September 6th agenda. That concludes my report.
All right, District number 5.
Mr. President, before we move further, I wouldn't want the statement of the finance chair to go unnoticed as it relates to his comments concerning the World Games. I would ask that the media meet with Helen and that he goes to the step and repeat so that you clearly heard what he said, because the county has no contractual obligation. We are supporting him. And so I think that, I know, and I think that that statement needs to be clear in terms of who by contract is obligated versus those who are supporting the effort, because we believe it was a positive move for the county. Okay, so if you all could stick around, that would be great, so they
You
can
want me to
get
read
you.
it again?
I would like for you to state it again.
Jefferson.
I know, right?
Concludes my report.
All right, thank you.
I have
Mr. Adams.
two quick items from JCIDA yesterday. The board moved to purchase some land adjacent to what will be the Smucker's property to create a roundabout. So thank you to Heather and her crew and Sand & Associates for putting that together. And that may be some more available land that we will have. It won't be as big, but there'll be more available land out there in McCalla, which will help us environmentally too with stormwater.
Those roundabouts. I was a little skeptical at first, but those things work.
They're slick.
They're good.
They're slick. And how I know Old Tuscaloosa Highway has become more of a raceway. The design of this will actually turn it off and slow the traffic down, still giving access to the new Gulf Distributing property, and their build-out's almost done, as well as the Smucker's property. Along with another number of things on Macashan and the interstate that are going to be done to help improve traffic over there, which is going to be super important for the long term with the acreage we have out there to still work. On the other vote that the notification was made that Ted Von Cannon is retiring, and the board voted to negotiate with a new person for that position. And Othell Phillips was the person that was nominated as that person. Tony Smoke was the head of the nominating committee. So Othell you have about a month and a half to harass him before he leaves and takes.
Oh, no, he'll get a whole lot more harassment when he gets over on the other side.
So
What position is it now?
he'll be the new head of JCIDA,
Take Ted's place.
Ted Von Cannon's place.
Economic development.
You probably know what it is. I'm just trying not to say that.
This board decision, they had a nominating committee, we're just going with what they said. Ted, yeah. I'm trying not to say something too, because when they brought it up, I said, I object. I object to this. And
I did too.
Yeah. So,
I just said you can't have that.
You said it in a meeting, you object?
I did. I was joking.
Yeah.
But
I can probably hear you saying you're joking. You know what I mean? I didn't think you said it as a statement.
yeah, no, I wouldn't know. I did say it jokingly, but it is difficult. Once you get a good chief of staff, somebody has the skill set and the experience that he does, not only as being a mayor for 8 years, where everything you deal with as a mayor in public office, or even as a councilman for that matter, there's a wealth of knowledge that's going out that door, not only for to support our office, but the
It's also helpful to
county.
the Economic Development Committee.
I'm sorry?
It's also helpful to the Economic Development
yes, ma'am.
Committee
Yes, ma'am.
to have Mr. Oldfield
He
to
is
be the
still-
executive
he is
director.
still
What you trying to
required.
say, he gonna be a rubber stamp?
No, I just said he'd be
I promise
great,
it won't.
Yeah.
great help to economic development.
He's still required to make regular visits as we go down the road.
From our regular visits here.
Yes.
Yeah, I would think, thank.
Yeah.
They're gonna give him a car and everything, so he can certainly make it.
I think it's a genius exit point to me. I mean, who knew?
I'm glad they said no.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would like,
it's a wonderful exit.
congratulations. I would like to remind our roads and trains of all of the economic development that is occurring, and it's dependent upon improved infrastructure. Midwest Hospital, McShann, Old Tuscaloosa Highway.
Now you're gonna get me started.
Yeah.
So there, and I'm going to defer to Commissioner Knight for the items in his district also. These are already on the capital plan. The money is allocated. The only pressure that you have is completing on time ahead of mainly the hospital. So I just reminded everyone that the hospital has actually become vertical now.
Yeah.
Going up.
It's coming out of the ground.
Yep.
And it's the strangest thing
It's
I've
good to
ever
see
seen, to
cranes
have
in here.
cranes in McCall. So,
So, one quick question, Mr. President. So when does Ted officially leave his post?
He has some vacation, but it's the end of the year. But he has a good number of days vacation saved up that he'll probably take those. Your first day would be
Either gonna be mid-October, first of November.
Where's the office at?
On
in Lakeshore, over there by Brookwood Hospital. You've been there before.
No, it's over there, wasn't it over
I
there?
did.
You said Lake, oh, yeah.
Congratulations, Oldfield.
Thank you.
I never saw it coming.
Thank you.
Danielle came crying a little bit
You're
later.
such a Corleone. I love it.
He's my consigliere, right?
Commissioners, we're moving directly out of this. It's
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
I got
We got
IT, I got,
I move it, I move all three.
got a second?
Sure.
Okay, is that including number 1, 2?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I have one other item that's important. In dealing with after the Fitch report, we had a meeting with all of the fire chiefs throughout the county yesterday, not only volunteers, but the regular municipalities. Everybody participated. We had about 2 hours worth of conversation. It went very, very well. Next, we're going to meet with the hospitals and with the for-profit ambulance service. And Jimmy, to your point about infrastructure, there's a big issue in some parts of Jefferson County where fire apparatus and rescue units may have a more difficult time getting around, which is going to require Heather being on top of it. She's already offered her services to make sure that a lot of that is looked at and taken care of, or at least planned for appropriately.
I guess the question that I have for the commission now, is there any items that we need to pull for separate consideration?
Are we going on into the?
Yeah, 10 o'clock, we'll just set back up. I was thinking, since the press is here, if we're not gonna have anything, it's gonna be a consent agenda, so.
We're doing it here and there.
We can do.
We had that one item about that 8% pay raise.
They're on there.
So we'll-
Mr. President.
Mr. President, now may I recognize Ms. Miller.
Yes.
Judge Hunter is in court, but she will come to the phone as soon as it's called, and she'll talk to y'all. How y'all want to do it.
Could you go ahead and call me?
If she's doing that, let's do it now.
Yeah, we will.
All right.
But before we close the meeting, did you hear, Mr. President?
I did hear you. All right, Judge Hilliard is
Yeah, she
leaving
wanted,
today.
she wanted to do it now?
She's going to do it now, that's what we'll
Oh,
make sure
okay.
first.
Okay. And then I had a request, please, before we conclude the meeting.
Hey, James, you're on with commissioners and committee room.
Okay, 1 second. I'm stepping into Judge O'Neill's office. 1 second. Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Judge is, she's about to take the call now. 1 second, please. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
Judge.
Um,
There's an item on your agenda for an 8% raise for a, I forgot what the technical term is.
the chief probation officer.
Yes, and our question is can you move that to the new budget year instead of doing it now? And the new budget year will be October 1st.
Right, it was not my intention to do it now. It's my intention to do it in the new budget year.
Okay.
And it is in our budget.
Perfect. That's the question we had, and so I think we can just strike.
So Judge Hilliard,
Yes.
okay, just for clarification purposes, I just wanted to make sure that you knew the concern that was raised was the fact of the 8%, and then if there's additional COLA, cost of living, that could make it probably surpass 13% or right at 13%. So just be cognizant of that with your budget submission, that was the concern of the overall amount once the cost of living raise is added to it.
Okay, I will make sure that they go back and take a look at our budget submission to ensure that that will be covered as well. I believe that they have already taken that into account with the submission that we, with our budget submission, but I will have them go back and make sure that it would be covered.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna take it off the agenda today, okay? And then we'll circle back with you. Is that all right?
Or is there an effective date on what's currently?
Yeah, I mean, we can do that as an
It's an effective
October
date,
1st.
It's on there as
Okay.
October 1, so that,
Okay.
I think it's good.
Never mind.
We can go ahead on.
We'll go ahead and pass it and
It's
put
not
it on.
effective until October 1st.
Okay, you'll pass it, but it won't be in effect until October 1st.
Yes, ma'am.
That's correct.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you all, I
clarifying.
certainly appreciate it.
Thanks for clarifying that for us.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right,
Take care, everyone.
all right.
So,
Thanks, Mike.
Mr.
Yeah.
President, before we conclude, because I'm sure all of them want to talk to Commissioner Knight.
I have no comment.
Yeah, you do have further comment so that you can state our position clearly.
Now, stay here.
I can stay here.
No, you can't.
I can too, it's a big end
So, absolutely.
Okay, and so nevertheless, Mr. President, if you don't mind, if I just for the sake of, I wanted to yield the floor, if you don't mind, Mr. President, to a constituent that wanted to speak as relates to a particular item. So,
I think you will have to be much more particular and tell me what's up.
And wait a minute, we concluded committee
We
meeting?
didn't conclude it yet, that's why I asked.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
all right.
we normally don't, that's something we don't normally do.
Yeah.
Okay,
So if you can be a little more,
I'll be very specific then, Mr. President. So we have a constituent that wanted to speak specifically about their concern about tax dollars for the World Games. And they just made me aware going out the door that they wanted to at least make the commission aware as a taxpayer of what their concern was. And so that was the reason why I was asking if that person can have at least a minute or two.
I don't think this is the proper venue for that. This is a commission meeting.
Well, hold on, Mr. President. Hold on just a minute. So, Mr. President, respectfully, since this is a committee meeting, not a commission meeting. Okay, hold on. Okay, so hold on, Mr. President. It's a lot of things that's not on the agenda, and when we want to push it, we do. So here's what I'm going to suggest to this constituent. You have 3 media outlets, you have 5 commissioners. You count, Mr. Jackson, which one that you think that you would rather hear, the general public or 5 people and some that don't want to hear it, okay? So, I mean, you know, Mr. President, that's the difference between a committee and a commission meeting, right? And so I get it, I'm good. I'm good,
That's
Mr.
a
President.
We really don't have to.
Well, Mr. President, truthfully, we've set precedents before
I understand.
well, hold on, Mr. President, respectfully. We've set precedents before based on who it is, our little friends that we want to allow them to speak. And so now, today, there's an objection, and I'm good. I want y'all to be blessed, because I'm not going to be stressed any longer. So, that being said, you got 3 cameras. If I were you, once this commissioner speaks, you speak to them, and I promise you, you'll reach a lot more people over there than you will with 5 people and some who don't want you to speak. Make sense? All right, Mr. President, you want to call the meeting to a close?
I do.
Thank you, sir.
We're starting right now?
We're starting, we're going to walk in there and do it now.
Getting right.